Are you thinking about a business partner? If you are, stop everything you're doing because you cannot afford not to watch this video. I'm going to dive into what I think makes a great partnership and most importantly, what to watch out for so you don't get into one that you are going to sorely regret. My name is Julie. I'm one of the co-founders of Funnel Gorgeous and I have had multiple partners throughout my business career, and my latest partner, Kathy Olson of Funnel Gorgeous, has been my most profitable, successful, long-standing partnership, and I want to explain to you what the difference is between our partnership today and the partnerships that I've had in the past. Okay, so number one, you're thinking about doing business with a partner, and I don't blame you. Business is hard. It is great to have a partner, especially if they have a different zone of genius than you do. So the first thing that you want to ask yourself is, can you do the business without them? I know that for a lot of us who are entrepreneurs, we wear a lot of hats, we're good at a lot of things. But if you look at your business partner and you think, yes, technically I could do this business without them, then they're probably not the right partner for you. In Funnel Gorgeous, Kathy and I both acknowledge that Funnel Gorgeous would not exist without the other person. I cannot replace what Kathy brings to the table, and Kathy cannot replace what I bring to the table. And so we know that this business flourishes as long as we as partners flourish. And that is incredibly important because it creates an unbelievable amount of stability in the business. So I know I can't do Funnel Gorgeous without Kathy, and she knows she can't do Funnel Gorgeous without me. And that is the number one thing I want you to ask yourself. Here's why that's important. If somewhere down the line, maybe it's 2 years or 3 years down the line, and there's a division of labor that's not equal, it's very common for one business partner to do more than the other and get really resentful. And if you start to feel that resentment building and you think, I could do this without you, that is the first sign that the partnership is going to end. So when you can't do the business without the other person, you're more incentivized to work through those resentments and work through those difficulties and come out on the other side. The second thing you need to think about when doing a partnership is, can you respect their zone of genius and be number two? So in Funnel Gorgeous, Kathy is our lead designer. She's also very, very good at sales. So when we are talking about any kind of strategy, she gets the final say when it comes to design and sales. She just does. I have to take number two. And I'm okay taking number two because I respect her zone of genius. The same thing happens when we're talking about copywriting or community management or customer service or the things that I'm really, really good at. She's going to take number two and she's going to let me make the decision. So respect is sort of that foundation there. And if there are too many cooks in the kitchen, this is going to get really dicey. So make sure that the partner that you choose, you can respect their zone of genius to the point where you don't get a say. You have to just let it be what it's going to be. And the third piece of business advice about a business partnership that I don't know is great business advice, but it's my advice, and I have found that it works quite well, that the partnership has to be more important than the business. Now, I don't know if you've ever had any sort of counseling around important relationships, but there's a really common principle that, like, in a family structure, the marriage is more important than the relationship with the kids, and that's because if the marriage stays together, then the kids ultimately are happier and better off. And so I've taken that analogy in business. My partnership with Kathy is more important than revenue. It is more important than the future of the business. And by doing so, we inevitably create a bond where the business is always going to benefit because we are incentivized to treat each other with respect and to come to common ground. And two heads are always better than one. So I would say if you are willing to make the partnership more important than the business, because that's ultimately what's best for the business, and you've met qualification number one and number two, which is that you can't do the business without the other person and you can respect their zone of genius, I think that is sort of the trifecta of what's going to make a great business partnership. Now, I said at the beginning of this video that I had some partnerships that didn't go well. Here are some things that happened. Number one, I built a business with someone who I really liked, but I did not truly believe that I could do the business without them, right? So I knew that if things got messy, I could actually do the business without them. And so that was the first problem because, of course, what happened was the responsibilities got out of balance, and instead of being incentivized to solve it, it was more like maybe we should go our separate ways. The second partnership that I got into that wasn't very good was that I couldn't fully respect that person's zone of genius. It wasn't that they weren't good at what they did, but there was a lot of fluff behind the expertise that I bought into that I then found out was not really there. They didn't really have the goods. So how could I have avoided these things? I think the biggest thing I can can share with you is that don't jump into a partnership quickly. Kathy and I did not. We did a joint venture partner together in 2018. We built a course together, we shared the profits, and we both put in the same amount of sweat equity. We didn't actually formalize our partnership until almost 2020. And so by then we had spent a year and a half, we had gone through ups, we had gone through downs, we had seen how each other work, and then we decided to formalize. Of course, we got a lawyer, we got an operating agreement, and we wrote in all the things you need to write in. So make sure when you formalize a business partnership, you do so with a lawyer or a legal team. You never know how big a business is going to take off, and with Funnel Gorgeous doubling every year since its inception, had we thought that it was just going to be a little thing and not done our due diligence, we would be in a much more risky position. So anyway, if you liked this video, please share it, please comment, please subscribe to our channel, and I'll talk to you soon.